Hello, my name is Amé Grobler and I am a laboratory and general technician at Ramsem Bull Station. And I always wanted to move more into the physiology side of agriculture. I saw that Ramsem is in Bloemfontein and I was already in Bloemfontein, and that's how I came across this company, and it was really something I wanted to pursue, and I really am passionate about animals and about livestock specifically. It's really for me a big passion, the livestock and specifically cattle. So I specifically studied zoology, BSc Zoology first, and then went on to do BSc Honours in animal science. So yes, that is how I got my qualifications to get to where I am today. So some of my responsibilities at the bull station include semen collection from bulls for genetic cryopreservation, and then the analyzing of the semen samples. So that includes the entire lab process, from motility, morphology, the entire quality of the semen and quality checking of the semen and analysis. So, and then from there on, the processing of the semen. Then some of my responsibilities are also the health and wellness of the bulls on station. So I'm also responsible for everything around the bulls. So that includes their welfare, their health. If there's something wrong with the bull, I need to report it and treat them accordingly. And then it is also very important within the production of the bulls. So the bull needs to be healthy to produce good semen. So for me, one of the things that is so amazing about this job and so challenging about this job is that each and every bull differs, and between each and every collection it differs, and you need to adapt to that scenario and to that bull and to that collection in order to maximize that production from that bull on that specific collection. With this amazing technology that we have at our fingertips, we are able to excel the genetic improvement of herds in South Africa, and the genetic potential is so much more in South Africa because of this technology that we have, such as the sexing of semen, the processing of semen. So with this technology, the processing of semen is much more successful than it was in the past, because we have these machines that are calibrated, that are more consistent. So the product that you put out in the market is of much higher quality than it was in previous years, which is great. And I mean the improvement that's coming along is also great, and the research that's being done on semen production and embryo production, for that matter, is just incredible. The benefit of using sexed semen in the industry is that you can increase your genetic potential within your herd. So either using it to increase your number of animals in the herd, so either you're still building your herd, or using genetic potential of targeted genetic potential and multiplying that with the sexed semen using embryo production, for example. So if you have a cow in your herd that you know produces very good and she's all within your breeding objectives, and you can use the oocytes from her and multiply it with the sexed semen and produce a lot of embryos, you can then use that within your herd to further increase your genetic potential within the herd. Sex semen can either also be used within the dairy or the beef industry. In the dairy industry, it's highly beneficial to increase the milk potential and the milk production potential of your herd, as well as building your herd. It can also be used, male sex semen can also be used in the dairy industry for either the production of feedlot calves. If you know it's a cow that not necessarily want to, you want to keep her in production, but you don't necessarily want to use her genetics, and you want to use a male sex semen, then you can use that calves to produce for the feedlot. Within the beef industry, the female sex semen can also, like I explained earlier, be used to expand your herd, or in the male sex semen you can use it also to produce maybe calves for feedlots, or if you have a bull that you know produces good progeny of bulls, or even if you just want to produce male progeny from that bull. So it has so much potential within the South African bounds to use the sex semen for maximum production. The challenge with sex semen, and that is something everyone needs to understand from sexing technologies, is that with conventional semen you have 25 million cells per straw. That is standard, and then with the sex semen you are left with 4 million cells per straw. So the reason for that is during this whole sorting process you throw half of this cells out because they the opposite gender, and then that machine can also differentiate between some of the abnormalities or the morphologies, and it also throws that out. It throws out the dead cells. Something else that's very important is the handling of the semen. So it's really important that semen should always be submerged in liquid nitrogen. So the moment it goes out of the liquid nitrogen, so liquid nitrogen is minus 196 degrees Celsius. The moment you take it out of that, if it's summer, it's directly into 35 degrees Celsius, or for example. So that differentiation between the minus 196 and let's say 35 degrees Celsius has a very big impact on the semen quality, because it gets exposed to that heat stress constantly. So that's why it's so important to, if you have your flask on farm, to always make sure that it is filled. Not only some nitrogen in, it should be filled at all times, completely filled. Otherwise you will compromise the quality of those straws. So that is really important for the handling of the semen, and for the AI at the end of the day to get maximum conception rates. A lot of farmers do semen collections, and the benefit of cryopreservation of semen is it's the best insurance that you can have on a bull. So whether it's a new bull you bought or a bull you bred, it's always good practice to have that in the bank. Although it's an expense you need to go through, the expense is going to be a lot more if you lose that bull due to whatever reason. So that is the main benefit of collecting semen and storing semen of a selected bull or bulls. And other reasons some people may want to store semen is maybe for embryo production. So this is all for own use on the farm. But you can also register a bull as an AI bull. So that is where they go through an entire process. They come to our station, they stand quarantine, they go through a bunch of tests, and then they are registered to be able to sell that genetic material. So it is a lot of expenses at the beginning, but once you can start to sell that genetic material, that is also the potential of collecting semen from bulls. In previous years, there was a lot more AIs being done. Now, there can be a lot of reasons for that that we are not going to go into. But in previous generations, there were a lot more demand for semen collections as well as for AI. But I see that everything is shifting now as the generations are interfacing now, and that AI and embryo production is picking up a lot more, and that is really a good thing, because you can actually select what you breed with what. And if you have maybe a small herd and you buy straws from a client or someone, then you don't have to buy the entire bull, you only buy those straws, and you can multiply your herd with the genetic potential that you wanted, not only that one bull on the cows that it might not fit with, and it might not fit with your breeding objective. My advice in agriculture would be to, as a woman in agriculture, is to just be yourself. You will find your place and where you fit in, and yes, where your place is in agriculture. So if it is your passion, I promise you, you will get your place. I take my inverter, so it's for a power supply, and then I have my microscope that I travel with me, and then we obviously have our cooler box. For today we have the specialized Vacutech cooler box, which keeps the temperature of the cooler box at 4 degrees Celsius, 4 to 8, which is very important for the sexed semen. And then I have my collection probe with me, which I will collect the bull with. I have some tables and all of my consumables that also comes with the entire collection process. But yes, we do travel a lot with us. It's a whole bucket. Where we're going to collect a Simmental bull for sexed semen production. So we're going to take you today through the whole process of semen collection from the farm up until to the lab, where we do the semen sorting and semen processing, as well as the analyzing of all the semen. So during this process of semen collection, we doing it in a very safe and not a harmful way. We want the bull to be as still and as calm as possible, because that can actually influence your semen quality. If the bull is not relaxed, if the bull is stressed out, that can actually influence the semen quality a lot. So that is why the process that we follow to get the semen from the bull is a very safe and respectable manner. In this case, the farmer wants to collect the semen for a very specific reason. He wants to get heifer calves from the bull, and he's a established bull in the herd. That is why the farmer wants to concentrate on heifer calves. He wants to build his herd with these heifer calves, and some farmers want to collect the semen to have that insurance if something happens to it. Okay, so first of all, for the safety of the bull, we always make sure that the crush that we are using to collect the bull is safe for the bull and safe for the collector as well, so that the bull doesn't get hurt or the collector gets hurt. The other aspect is to have a hygienic environment. We are on a farm, it is in the Free State, the wind is blowing, so the environment needs to be controlled as much as possible to get a sterile as possible sample from the bull on the farm. So that is a real challenge. From here on, we are going to start the collection process. We will extract the semen, and from there on we will do the processing further and the analysis of the semen, analyzing whether it is good enough to take back to the lab to be further processed for sexed semen production. So it's important to know when last the bull worked with the cows, when last he did his matings, because semen production is a process, and semen production takes about 6 weeks to complete from the start to the end. So if he worked within that 6 weeks, if his semen production are a bit lower than usual, then your semen concentrations will be lower and the semen quality will be lower. So it's very important to know when a bull worked last with the cows. And then the following question is the bull in good condition? Not only his body condition score, but is he healthy? Is he hurt? Did he have a fever recently? Because all of that plays an intricate role in semen production, and at the end of the day, semen quality. So that is really important to know beforehand if the bull is healthy and when last did he work. Okay, so I'm using an antiseptic cream that we will lubricate the probe with. I'm also lubricating my hand that I will use in the rectum with the AI glove to smoothen the process and not to hurt the bull. The antiseptic is also for in case the bull gets hurt inside, not to get any infections in. So I want the bull to let the bull know that I am here. So I will just tap him and tell him, hello, hello, I'm here. Okay. So now I'm just clearing out any feces. So it's very important not to force your hand in, because it is very sensitive and you don't want to hurt the bull, and that can have catastrophic results. Okay, so we want to trim the hairs so that it doesn't so that it doesn't contaminate the semen. We just want to clear out some of these hairs. So now we want to clean out the sheath from any debris or urine or anything that can contaminate our semen sample. So here we are just using simple distilled water. It's just clean water, double distilled water with a 50 ml syringe. So it's just to clean out the sheath. So we will inject this water and just work it through to get all of the debris out. Okay, so for the semen collection, we collect the semen in this tube where it will then be collected in. This is our collection tube. It's to body temperature, set to body temperature, and that is to not shock the semen or the sperm cells when we collect it. This is a collection cone. The cone is to protect or for the semen to fall into, but also to protect it from the sun and also the cold, so that's why we need to keep our hands around the cone. Now we're going to stimulate the prostate with the probe electrically. It's called the electro-ejaculator. So then we will just stimulate that prostate with frequencies on this machine, and that will then at the end of the day stimulate the semen to be ejaculated. Come see. All right, Sienna. All right. The idea behind catching the semen like this is you can regulate and control what you catch. So sometimes you get quickly, he produces pre-seminal fluid or post-seminal fluid, and you don't want to catch that into the semen, as that can influence your semen quality. So now I can control what I let into my tube, and so we have successfully collected our first collection now. And we're going to do the analysis thereof. So now we need to analyze the semen. So we're just going to take a small sample from the semen using a pipette. So we are dripping it on a heated plate, which is at body temperature, as to not shock the sperm cells and to not kill off the cells. At this stage we are looking at mass motility, so that's just the general movement of the cells. We want the type of wave, good wave movement, and then we're looking at individual motility. So each and every sperm cell, the way it moves, we want it to move progressively, and then we're also looking at the live versus dead cells, and then from there on we give it a score, a percentage score. We also check for general abnormalities in the semen, but this pool looks good. So now we diluted the semen with the dilution media. Now we're just mixing it. So this pink media is the sexing media that we use to dilute the semen, and then we will take it back to the lab to be further processed. The bull's ID gets added to the tube. So this cooler box is temperature controlled with these ice packs. It's currently at 5.7 degrees, which is ideal for the semen. This way it will be shipped to the lab, and it will stay linear to mix the semen and the dilution the whole way home. So we want to keep it in suspension. The semen always, that actually helps not to sediment and to create a pellet of the semen that you don't want. So the movement of the car and the semen helps to keep it in suspension.